Convener of World Tamil Economic Conference, Dr. V.R. Sampath, distinguished personalities, chairperson of the session, Satyamurthy Sir, Deputy Controller and Auditor General of India, and then my co-speaker, Ramchandran. Very good morning to you all. And Dr. Sampath asked me whether I can present on accounting and management skills for economic development. I said immediately, yes, why not? Because this is a subject close to my heart. It's an evolution of accounting professionals. That's what we call it nowadays. It's not the old-fashioned accounting anymore. It's not the creative one which Satyamurthy has talked about, but the accounting professionals have to evolve into more managerial roles. It was not the case before. They were more, கணக்காளர் சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, கணக்காளர் கணக்கை மட்டும் எழுதினிருந்தோம். கணக்கை மட்டும் எழுதியிருந்தா ஒன்றும் நடக்காதுரா, கணக்கு மேலே என்ன பண்ணணும்னு அது வந்து you have to keep on honing up your skills. If that is not there, then you cannot contribute to economic development. So அதனால தான் அந்த டாபிக் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்தது. So I said, why not? I will definitely talk about it because this is the order of the day. If you don't catch up, then you will be washed away. So the accounting professionals is not just accounting alone. This is what I would like to start with that note. So what are the skills? If you talk about the skills in terms of accounting as well as management, how do they evolve into more management category? So skills in bookkeeping, of course, as Satyamurthy said, it started, the double entry system of bookkeeping started in Italy. There are 3 golden rules of accounting we all learned. Debit the receiver, credit the giver, debit all what comes in, credit what goes out, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. 3 golden rules of accounting. The 11th standard the master Kathukurthar V.S. Thomas. That's ஆணித்தரமா பதிஞ்சிருந்ததுனாக்க உங்களுக்கு accounting is always easy. You will never have a doubt of how to account for a particular transaction. These are the golden rules of accounting. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒன்றா பில்டப் ஆகி வேரியஸ் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ் வந்தது தவிர இது வந்து உங்களுக்கு grassroots level இருக்கணும். அதுக்கு வந்து you should need to have a good accountancy master, a commerce teacher at the time when you start your 11th தான் யூஸ்வலாக காமர்ஸ் அண்ட் அக்கௌண்ட்ஸ் வரும், 10th வரைக்கும் வராது. ஸோ அப்போ I am fortunate in Santa Maria School to have a teacher who has contributed to so many successful accounting professionals from my batch, or not from my batch alone, till the time he served. He is now retired. Santa Maria School, I just want to give that credit to him because there are so many professionals he had made. So bookkeeping is one thing. Risks and controls, this is a very important skill we need to know. So without risk, there's no business without risk. But how do you manage the risk? How do you mitigate the risk? You need to have a proper control mechanism. So risks and controls, definitely, the accounting professional skill, the skill is important. Analytical skills, you need to know how do you analyze a particular situation, how do you analyze a P&L balance sheet from last year to this year, how do you analyze economic parameters of an organization, how do you benchmark one company to another. These are all important skills which you need to know. Financial and regulatory reporting is very important. As Satyamurthy sir said, a lot of scandals have been happening world over. It's all because of wrong application of financial reporting and fraudulent reporting. And so this is very important. So in India, you have accounting standards board, etc. It's more or less aligned with international financial reporting standards. If you talk about Gulf, in Qatar or Dubai or all these Gulf countries have been using international financial reporting standards framework for more than 25 years. So it's something which is, I would say, more advanced here, where you have a reporting framework which is universally accepted. Of course, there are other frameworks like US GAAP. The entire Americans always want to have their own regime on everything. So they have US GAAP. So IFRS is widely accepted, which is the financial reporting for the whole world now. Business partnering skills. So this is another skill which accounting professionals need to have. How do you partner with the business? It's not just, as I said, கணக்காளர்னு கணக்கை மட்டும் எழுதின்னு இருக்காதீங்க. மேலே போகிறோம். How do you partner with the owners? How do you partner with the entire business? That's important. Strategic planning, again, important character. These are all core skills. But what about the soft skills? This is where, traditionally, I would say, the accountants, even the chartered accountants who passed out up to, say, 2000, I would say, they didn't have that enough soft skills. So that's why, chartered accountants always used to fail when compared to the MBA graduates, because they will not be able to talk as fluently, as confidently as an MBA would be able to do. But that is gone now. It's all gone from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Again, Satyamurthy sir pointed out, 1941 it was set up, even before independence. And we have 47 chapters, he said. And I am proud to say that the first overseas chapter of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India was set up in Doha, Qatar, in 1981. Okay, it was set up. So there are so many chapters making sure that things which are happening at the right way, having continuing professional educations. So why I said is that the soft skills from 2000 onwards, there have been a lot of emphasis on soft skills. How do you talk to professionals like this? Previously, chartered accountants used to have that timidness. They will not be able to fluently talk in public, but now it's all changing. It's very important soft skill. Prudent and diligent. This is again a soft skill. You need to be diligent. You need to be prudent enough. Okay. Accountable and responsible. That's again an important thing. You have to be trustworthy. You need to be accountable, and you need to be responsible for your actions. Adaptable and flexible. It doesn't mean that you play around with numbers. No. Adaptable to different conditions and be flexible in your approach. So these are all some of the soft skills which are required. When you say accounting and management skills, these skills, the core skills and soft skills are very, very important. Next important topic which I'd like to talk about is value protectors becoming a value creators. So accountants traditionally are value protectors. எப்படி தக்க வச்சுக்கிறது, ஒரு வேல்யூ எப்படி தக்க வச்சுக்கிறதுன்னா நான் அக்கௌண்டன்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க. இப்போ எப்படி வேல்யூ கிரியேட் பண்ணுறது. ஸோ தட் இஸ் அன் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் பேரடைம் ஷிஃப்ட் which happens. So financial bookkeeping, design and operating financial control, financial book closure, financial performance reporting packs, இதிலேயே ஊறி இருந்தவங்க இதுதான் வேல்யூ protectors. They are protecting the organization. But how do you create an organization? How do you take the organization to the next level is what is happening now, which is involving themselves in SWOT analysis, strategic planning, analytics of customer base and clients, customer life cycle. How do you retain a customer? Based on certain KPIs, they can help the marketing team to retain a customer base, whether it's a telecom or banking sector. How do you retain a customer? By having a customer life cycle study where accountants can participate. So these are all some of the value creation which is happening through the accountants. Of course, peer group analytics is very important. You need to know how I am performing like this, how my other bank, my competitor is performing, how my other telecom competitor is performing. The peer group analytical skills is very important. This is again a value creation of financial accountant can bring in. And then business partnering and decision making. This again, you need to partner with your business, the owners, the board. You need to have that continuing engagement with the board. So that's important. So that's what I'm saying. Accountants no more only writing books. So they have to just have that mindset of getting into value creation. And I'll have one more information about how do they contribute to the economic development, which is what the the title of the subject, the particular session says. So how do they contribute to the economic development? If you have a proper corporate reporting, that's very important to bring in consistency and the confidence in the mind of foreign investors. Foreign direct investors will invest more. What has happened in India, for example, FDIs have gone in for different level because there has been consistency of reporting as well. Indian accounting standards have converged with international financial reporting standards. If somebody reads the financial statements of any particular public sector company, they will be able to understand sitting in UK or US because the reporting standards have converged with international financial reporting standards, or even sometimes you have a reconciliation with US GAAP. So somebody sitting in America, they want to invest in India as a foreign direct investor, he'll be able to comprehend what are the numbers talking about. So that's important. The transparency of reporting. So the comparable reporting system also, as I said, facilitates foreign direct inflows. So external financing, if you want to have more borrowing from outside, to support your growth, then of course you need to have a proper corporate accounting, corporate reporting. Having said all these things, why countries struggle? There are a lot of countries who struggle in having proper accounting, corporate reporting and transparent accounting, because main issue is capacity building. They don't have enough capacity of qualified accountants, financial accountants with the mindset which I talked about. If that is a gap, what you have, obviously they will not be able to contribute to the economic development. And also, legal and regulatory framework. In countries where you don't have proper legal and regulatory framework, you will never be able to see a situation where a financial accountants can contribute to economic development. So how do you fix that? The countries which have got enough capacity. India is definitely a country which has got great set of financial accountants. We all need to expand our boundaries. Of course, contributing to India is important, it's our country, but how do you help countries which are struggling in this? So that's why, for me, I am there in Qatar for the last 29, 30 years now. I worked only with one company, KPMG, all my 35 years, in fact, including 6 years in India. But how do I contribute to the country like Qatar, in terms of transparent financial reporting? As I said yesterday, pride of public trust. When you sign off on accounting financial statements, an audit report, you give an assurance to multiple stakeholders that it's a dependable company. So like that, people are there. There are a lot of financial accountants, chartered accountants who are outside India contributing heavily to the economic development of that country. So this is very, very important to have a capacity building where countries which don't have enough capacity, the others can support. And the last one, what I want to say is the impact with the culture, how it can impact the conduct of a professional. Culture, meaning I'm talking about culture of an organization, culture of the family, culture of the surroundings. It can impact conduct. So very important to be aware of the culture in which we are operating. And the important golden rules for a financial accountant, again, is being consistent. If you keep on moving your stance, I said about flexibility. Flexibility is, again, consistently doing the right thing. That's important. You should not deviate from your ethics, professional standards. It's all a bedrock of an accountant. If it is not there, the consistency of behavior is not there, you are not going to be trustworthy. People will not trust you. You need to know the big picture, understand the big picture, needs of your stakeholders. As I say, stakeholders is not just the shareholders. Your regulator is a stakeholder, your customer is a stakeholder, your employee is a stakeholder, supplier is a stakeholder. You need to understand the big picture and the needs of all the stakeholders. Continuously learn and upskill. That's very, very important. There's no point in saying that I've become a chartered accountant, I know what I have to do. No, you will not know what is required because the world is continuously evolving. You need to keep pace with the continuing changes. For that, you need to upskill yourself. Every one of us, it's not just the financial accountants, anybody in any profession, unless you have continuing professional education to upskill, what are the new things happening in the world, you will never be able to succeed. With that note, I would like to conclude. Sorry, sir, I could not talk about those two banks because for confidentiality purposes, I am not supposed to divulge any information about those two banks which gone bust in the last about 1 week. Thank you very much.